The city never slept, but neither did Alexander King. A billionaire known for his razor-sharp instincts and an empire built from nothing, he trusted numbers more than people. In his world, loyalty had a price, and too often, it was cheap. Sitting in his glass-walled penthouse overlooking the glowing skyline, he swirled a glass of untouched wine, his mind restless. Wealth had given him everything, except certainty about the people around him. Were they loyal to him, or just to his money? That question had been haunting him for months, especially after a recent betrayal that cost him millions. That night, he decided to find out the truth in a way no one would expect. The next morning, Alexander set his plan into motion. He selected 3 women from completely different parts of his life. The first was Vanessa, his glamorous girlfriend who adored luxury and never hesitated to show it. The second was Clara, his highly educated, composed business partner who prided herself on intelligence and discipline. And the third was someone no one would have suspected to be part of such a test, Maria, his quiet maid. She had worked in his mansion for over 5 years, rarely speaking, always efficient, almost invisible. Yet something about her calm presence had always intrigued him. One by one, he called them into his office. Without explanation, he handed each of them his black credit card, no limits, no restrictions. Spend it however you want, he told them, watching their reactions carefully. Vanessa's eyes lit up instantly, her lips curling into a satisfied smile. Clara raised an eyebrow, curious but controlled. Maria hesitated, her hands trembling slightly as she accepted the card, confusion written all over her face. None of them asked why. None of them questioned his intentions. And that, in itself, told Alexander more than he expected. The next 48 hours were silent, but filled with answers. Vanessa wasted no time. Social media soon displayed her shopping spree, designer clothes, expensive jewelry, luxury spa bookings. Every swipe of the card screamed indulgence. Clara, on the other hand, took a different approach. She invested a portion into a startup, purchased a few high-end professional tools, and even donated a small amount to a charity, carefully calculated moves that reflected intelligence, but also ambition. Alexander observed it all through quiet reports, his face unreadable. But Maria disappeared. No flashy purchases. No notifications. No transactions, at least not for the first 24 hours. Alexander grew curious, even slightly irritated. Had she been too afraid to use it? Or worse, had she taken it and run? By the second day, a few transactions finally appeared. But they weren't what he expected. They were small. Very small. Groceries. A pharmacy bill. A payment at a modest clothing store. And then, nothing again. Confused, Alexander decided to see for himself. That evening, he drove, not in his usual luxury convoy, but alone, following the address tied to Maria's transactions. The road led him far away from his world of glass towers and into a quiet, worn-down neighborhood. The kind of place he hadn't stepped foot in for years. As he approached a small, aging house, he saw Maria. She wasn't dressed in her usual uniform. Instead, she wore simple clothes, her hair tied back casually. In her hands were bags, basic groceries. But what stopped Alexander in his tracks wasn't what she bought, it was what she did next. She walked inside, and through the slightly open door, he saw a scene that hit him like a storm. A frail old man sat in a wheelchair, his face pale but eyes warm. 2 small children ran toward Maria, hugging her tightly. She smiled, a genuine, radiant smile Alexander had never seen before. She knelt down, handing them simple treats, her voice soft and full of love. Alexander felt something shift inside him. He watched as Maria carefully arranged medicines, helped the old man drink water, and then began cooking a modest meal. There was no luxury. No extravagance. Just care, responsibility, and sacrifice. Every rupee she spent was for them, not herself. His chest tightened. Later, as Maria stepped outside, perhaps for a moment of fresh air, she froze when she saw him standing there. Her eyes widened in shock, fear quickly replacing it. "Sir." I can explain," she stammered, clutching her hands nervously. But Alexander didn't speak immediately. For the first time in years, the billionaire who had everything felt small. Why didn't you spend it on yourself? He finally asked, his voice quieter than usual. Maria looked down, her answer simple, yet powerful enough to shatter his expectations. Because they needed it more than I do. That moment broke him. Not because she spent the least, but because she valued the most. Tears he didn't expect burned behind his eyes as he realized something brutal. The woman he had overlooked for years, the one he barely acknowledged, had the purest heart among them all. No strategy. No greed. Just love. And suddenly, all his wealth felt meaningless. As he stood there, the silence heavy with realization, Alexander made a decision that would change everything, not just for Maria, but for himself. But before we uncover what he did next, take a moment. Because stories like this remind us that true value isn't measured by money, but by the choices we make when no one is watching. If this story touched your heart even a little, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because the next story might just change the way you see the world forever.